Hello. I gotta take a deep breath. I'm telling you, it's almost like there's so much energy going against me when it comes to making content. I can't stand making content sometimes. I'm getting very flushed right now. I tried making a video and then Rob came home. There was a little bit of a distraction. I had to stop my video and I got like 3 minutes in, stopped, waited for him to come in, talked, did his thing. Here I am trying to attempt to make the video all over again. I literally got 8 minutes and 11 seconds through that video and it stopped. Why? Because I had a solicitor calling me. I swear, it's almost like I am not allowed to speak my truth. I'm not allowed to say what I want to say. But guess what? I don't care. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And I'm going to teach people what I want to teach right now. So, universe, stop it. Anyway. I feel like I'm never going to be able to get this shit out. I swear. So we're going to attempt it. I put my phone on what do you call it? Airplane mode. So hopefully that prevents people that want to call me to not stop my video, because that'd be great. I don't like how my phone just is like, oh, you got a phone call, so whatever you're doing, you're not going to do it anymore. Like, no phone. I'm in the middle of making a video. If someone's calling me, they can fuck off for a little while until I can get to it. So, we're going to try this again, all right? So I wrote down some stuff, and I wanted to go over some of it with you. And I also want to be able to express a little bit more thoroughly on what energy is. But let's forget about the notes. Let's forget about all of that. I am just going to speak from the heart and not even look at any of that and maybe get through this video very quickly. And this video may not be that long because I've really lost my patience from trying to do this over and over again. So I'm fully just gonna speak about this energy and help people understand what it really is. Okay. I'm gonna get up and start pacing in the house. I need to like move. All right. So, energy is everything, right? Your mind creates a lot of your thoughts. When your thoughts are created in your mind, then you start creating your reality due to your thoughts, your words that you speak. Doesn't matter if you're texting it. It doesn't matter if you're saying it out loud or if it's actions, stuff that you're doing, things that you do on a moment to moment basis, right? And then you have your emotions. Your emotions is a very, very big thing. Your emotions trigger a lot of stuff that's going on in your reality. So it really does really help when you are in the midst of feeling something. So if everything is emotion, or if everything is energy, right? You want to be able to manifest, create things. You want your reality to be made or created in a sense where you're going to be able to get a little bit more of what you want. You're going to be able to create a little bit more things on what you're trying to get in your life, right? So if you want like a new car, you got to keep thinking about that new car. You got to keep thinking about all of the positive things that you want to be able to create with that new car. So like you want that new car, so you got to keep thinking of that new car, how it would feel with your emotions, what it would be like to have that new car. You got to start speaking out loud or writing it in a journal, stating how badly you'd love to be able to have that car. And that you need to start doing actions that's going to go towards getting that new car, right? It's very similar to anything in life. So when you're actually wanting something new or you want something different in your life, then some things have to go away in order to make space for a new thing to come in. That's why sometimes when big bad things then tend to happen in your life, and what some spiritualists will say, like the tower effect. Some people might say like, oh, this is like the worst time of my life, blah blah blah, because of this, and A through Z has happened to me, and worst time, and blah blah blah, and you just don't understand, and there's all of this bad. And you know what, not many people may not understand. A lot of things that happen in your reality happens in your reality based on the fact that you created your own reality due to the words that you speak, your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions. Everything creates your reality, right? So if you are constantly thinking negative, and you constantly keep talking negative, doing negative, and feeling that negativity, you are creating a reality where the universe is going to keep giving you these negative things. So if you keep speaking very negative about somebody, for example, and you start talking about how horrible this person is and how you don't like them and it's this and that, and you can have very good valid reasons, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to take that away from you, because it's your reality, it's your emotions, your thoughts, your words, all of it. It's energy, it's everything, right? So there's a possibility that maybe these emotions, you're getting triggered. Maybe whatever that person's doing or saying or whatever, they're triggering you. So it's reminding you of a wound deep down inside that you never healed from within. And this trigger keeps coming up, whatever this person may see. They can just breathe wrong and you're just angry. And all of that anger, all that negative emotion, all the negative, energy that you are creating in your reality, all because of one person. Now you got to ask yourself, is this person really worth all this energy that you are creating for them? Is this person really worth all the energy that you are putting into them? Because at the end of the day, everybody's right or wrong is different. Your right or wrong might be different than my right or wrong. Your experiences might be different than my experiences. The way you grew up might be different than the way I grew up. We might be a different generation. Different generations come from different energies, different programs, different everything, right? Like, we are all very different and unique individuals based on how we were all raised, grown up differently. We were born a certain time at a certain place, at, all of that. Your astral chart is a really big thing too. You have a very unique energy signature that creates your reality, right? So it gets very complex, like I mentioned. Energy, you just got to understand what energy can do, what it's capable of, what you are creating with energy. And then once you kind of have an idea, I'm going to say that, just an idea, you're not going to have everything in the bag. Obviously this takes time because there's a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to kind of like connect the dots type of deal, right? There's a lot of things to understand based on energy. That's why I said, I was like, this can be a very basic lesson or it can be a very complex lesson. It really depends on your perspective. It depends on where you are in your spiritual journey. And it really depends on what you're looking for or what kind of information you really want out of this. If you're here to learn about energy and to grow and to understand what energy can really do to you, well, I think you kind of have an idea. So in your reality, your physical reality that's all around you, like, for example, this home that's around me, right? You have to find a way to manifest a home. You have to find a way to manifest whatever it is that you're doing in your life. And a lot of things that happen in your life, which could have been like 10 years ago, 10 years ago in my life, or I'm bouncing all over the place. I bought this house roughly between 8 to 10 years ago. Okay. So let's say 15 years ago, my journey started to be able to get this house. As soon as I had that thought and I'm like, hey, I want to buy a house. Boom. All of a sudden your reality is now shifting and changing, right? It's like your own personal algorithm. All of a sudden you open your phone, you go on like Facebook, for example, and you see advertisement of like, oh, free homes or oh, there's this realtor is letting people, look at all of the homes that they have, or, oh, there's this home that is now for sale, and it's like identical to the house that you were talking about that you wanted. Like, anything can happen, right? This, as small or large of whatever experience happens in your reality based on a thought. Really, that's all it starts with, is just your thought. So if, let's say, deep down inside you're like, hey, universe, did you forget about me? Like, hey, I would like to be able to have a little bit more money, you know? Like, who doesn't, right? Who doesn't want to have more money, more finances, to be able to feel a little bit more comfortable to buy the things that you want to buy, to get the things that you need to get, or whatever, you know? We all look at finances differently, again, because we're all unique individuals based on whatever energy signature that we have. So we are all creating energy all the time. So when you want more money, what are you going to do? Now that I stated everything, you're going to want to think about that money. You're going to want to talk about that money. You're going to want to act like you already have that money. And you're going to want to feel like you already have that money. And when you keep living your life day to day, not really like cutting out the expectation, letting go of the, like, what you are creating in your mind, in a sense, you have to be in the in-between. You have to be an in-between of your reality, of your physical reality, knowing that it's happening, knowing that it's going. You have to trust and believe in yourself, which means you have to really feel it, which means you have to really think it, and you have to really speak it and be very firm when you speak it, right? You got to say it with your chest kind of deal, 10 toes forward. You want to make sure that whatever you are thinking, saying, doing, and feeling is exactly matching, right? Because if you don't match it, let's say you're thinking about that money, but you're not talking about it, you don't feel it because you're just like, $1 million. I never seen $1 million. I never felt $1 million. I never would experience, like, I never really thought that I would experience $1 million. Okay, well, you're putting lack into your manifestation. You are not creating to get $1 million or to have more money if you keep telling yourself something different than what you're thinking. You keep thinking about the money, but you keep speaking like you don't have it, and you keep feeling like you don't have it, or you don't, what's the word? Like, almost as though that you don't deserve it. Almost like your self-worth is lesser than, which is what's causing those negative thoughts, right? You want to be able to match all of that. Now, if you're feeling that kind of way, then you have to start diving deep down and trying to understand why you are putting a lack in your own reality. Why are you being your own enemy at that point? What is creating in your reality? What is happening that is causing you to feel that way? What is causing you to talk that way? There's probably things in your reality that does not belong, or things in your reality that goes against what you're trying to create, right? So that means that you have to kind of sit and try to evaluate what it is that you are trying to create and have, and making sure that everything's aligned. So if you really, really want that money, you got to make sure that your thoughts, words, actions, and feelings are in tune with what you are creating. So that is how you manifest, in a sense. Basic way of explaining it. I can dive really deep in another video at another time in the future. And that's obviously, if you guys want to learn any of that, you don't want to learn it and you all know it, what's the point of talking about it, right? And if you guys do not interact with my content, I'm not going to be able to interact with you. If you don't share, post, like, say things, question things, if you don't do any of that, I don't have anything back, right? It's a mirror. So what you put in is what you get. And if you don't put anything through it, then you're not going to really get very much, right? You want to make sure that I can give you what you're looking for, and vice versa. So, with that said, when it comes to manifesting, I'm manifesting, for example, by thinking, saying, feeling, and doing by making this video, making this content, that I would like to make sure that those that see this video, that need to see this video, will. That can be one person, that can be a million people. And since videos, content like this is timeless, in a sense, once I post it on YouTube, some people might see it in the next minute, the next hour, the next week, maybe not until next year. There's a possibility where I can be gone off this earth the very next day, for example, be gone. Nobody will physically know me, see me, or anything, but my content's still there. My videos are still there. My information, the knowledge, it's all still there. So it's very timeless in a sense. I also want to let people know, now that we're kind of on this topic, and we are kind of jumping into a lot of different videos and content that I'm going to be posting to teach people like the basic stuff of these certain topics. I really do like, I hope that you guys are very interactive with me. Do not hesitate to message me if you don't want to post anything under the comments and you want to just private message me and ask something. That would be amazing. Like, I would love that. It'll give me time to interact, get to know some of you people, and to get to know my audience, to understand who I'm talking to, in a sense. And it can also give me a lot more validation inside to understanding what I should bring up and what I should start talking a little bit more about. So there's that. So energy is everywhere all around us. It really depends every day how you want to wake up in the morning and how you want to go to bed at night, how you want to have your reality, how you want your day to be. So if you want your day to be a better day than what you may think it might be, then start thinking, saying, doing, and feeling. Once you start matching all of those, I am going to put a bet that your day will be a lot better, especially when you put the energy and the actual time for yourself to go through it, to align yourself to that. Now, when it comes to aligning yourself to all of these types of things, you know, I discussed a lot about this in my last video, talking about a little bit more about myself, talking about what I've gone through in my life, using myself as an example. You could always go back to that type of video and listen to what I said, and then use yourself as an example by taking the tools and knowledge that I'm giving and use it for your own reality, your own life. Maybe that way you would be capable of doing a little bit more, right? You'll be able to do more because now you'll have the actual, stuff to do something with, right? So, hopefully this video helped and helps people understand basically a generalization of what energy can really do. The next video that I really would love to be able to talk about, and that is only if people don't say anything or question or have any questions at all, I'm just going to keep going then. The next video that I want to be able to speak on a little bit more are timelines. I want to be able to talk a little bit more about timelines, how timelines work, why they exist, why there's such an infinite amount of them, and what's really happening to the old timelines compared to the new timelines. How timelines are created, what creates them, how do you create them as an individual and collective. Everything is happening all at the same time. Because, on the other side, there is no time. It's only linear time here in this physical reality. So since time doesn't really necessarily exist on the other side, everything's happening all at the same time, all at once. So when you are living all of your lives, you're living all of your lives at the same time. So those past lives or future lives, they're not really past or future. They are lives that you're literally experiencing. Your soul is experiencing in the now. When you have past life regressions, future regressions, when you are seeing these other lives that you've lived, there are lessons within that. There are things that you're learning through those. And there's a reason why your soul in this physical life is showing you what is going on in those other lives. Maybe there is something that is happening in that other life that is similar that is happening in this life and might give you some answers or a little bit of knowledge to how to handle what you're going through now. So a lot of regression work can really, really help someone and all of the things that they're going through as a person. So regression work's really, really cool. I'm obsessed with regression work. It's really fascinating and really cool. Even when you put people in a past life and you're helping guide someone through a past life regression, when you're guiding them through something like that, they could even bring in their own personality that they had in that other life. So that's something, and that's kind of cool, at least to me. I find that so cool. So it's very fascinating on what regression work can really do, but everything's energy, everything. So depending on how little to how big you want to make energy in your life really depends on you. So that's why I mentioned in the very beginning, talking about energy is a very simple thing. And it could sound very easy. It could sound very basic, right? Just because, it's speaking about all of this. Now, doing it is another. You are going to be challenged. You will have a lot of hard times while you're going through this process because it's learning. You're growing and learning. You're becoming a more intelligent human being because you're picking up tools and knowledge that you haven't had before. And now that you have the tools and knowledge, you get to play with it in your reality. And that takes time. It takes a lot of patience. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to turn into a better human being. And the very next day you're a better human being. Guide me to the person that has been capable of doing something like that because I want to learn. But it takes time. The only reason why I'm bringing it up is it just takes time. You have to be patient with yourself. You're not gonna change overnight. It's gonna sometimes take weeks, months, years. You got to understand that in this life, how I mentioned in my last video, everything is programs. You are running on so many different programs in your life. Your belief system on what you believe in is a program. What you go to school and learn, it's a program. All of this stuff is program. Everything, right? But you are taking programs that are someone else's. So if you go to school and let's say you're learning math, you are learning a program that is called math. And the way math works, you are also taking the learning or teaching from someone else on how they do it for your own self. So you're taking someone else's program and using someone else's program into your own self. Sometimes it doesn't match, right? Sometimes when you learn someone else's knowledge, it doesn't really fit well inside. Just like all of the tools and knowledge that I'm giving you right now. Some of you might be like, wow, this really resonates a lot. And then there's other people who are like, it really doesn't make sense. That's okay. Sometimes the piece doesn't fit yet. Maybe there's just an understanding. Maybe there's a blockage. Maybe there's a lack in your own reality somewhere that is causing you to not be able to sponge such information. Maybe your belief system that you grew up learning taught you that maybe this stuff is evil, maybe this stuff is not right, and it goes against your God that you believe in. And that's fine. Why are you here? But in a sense, those that resonate and those that are here for a reason and those that state I understand, maybe this kind of goes against my religion in a sense, but it resonates. It makes sense. So you're kind of allowing you're just kind of pulling a string until it just stops or until you just get bored. So keep pulling the strings. Keep seeing where this takes you, because everything that I am going to start teaching everybody, I want everyone to challenge themselves. Look up everything that I tell you. A lot of the things that I am going to start teaching moving forward, especially through timelines, it's so fascinating. There's a lot of science behind the things that I talk about. Neuroscience, that's fun. I've been so fascinated with neuroscience, like with your brain, the way your nerve endings work, and how you can program your brain and your body to feel, do, and all this other stuff. Like, it's so fascinating. Love neuroscience, is so cool to me. Even spirituality, putting spirituality into this mix, elements to like a lot of things. I've literally taken a lot of knowledge from many different stages and try to like mix it all into one in my own little practice. Because when I tell people like what I believe in, I believe a little bit of everything. I take a little bit of everything and try to put it together, try to make sense of it, and try to help others make sense of it. Because it's hard and it's very complex. You know, we don't come with an owner manual here in this life. So a lot of times it gets very complicated, and you just need patience to kind of sit with all of this and to kind of understand what you're really logically getting, you know? So if you have any questions regards to energy, please make a comment, message me. If you like the video, please like the video, please, because the more likes that I have on this video, the more it's going to be pushed out, the more I'll be able to know, hey, y'all like the content, I'll keep going. If I keep making videos and I'm getting no likes and I'm getting nothing, why put so much energy into helping people that don't want to be helped? That means that I am like speaking to the wrong audience in a sense. And I need to find my audience. Then it's definitely not here then. So this is all I've been about for the last like 4 or 5 years of my life. I've learned all of this stuff. This is all I've been doing. Rabbit hole after rabbit hole, learning one subject to the next. I've really tried to sponge as much as I possibly could regards to all of this information. And it's just getting to the time where I need to start letting go of this stuff in a way of like talking it out loud, speaking it out loud, making content out of it, and helping others to be able to take what resonates and leave the rest. To help others have some of the tools and knowledge that really helped my life a lot, which I'm sure it can probably help everyone else's life just as much as it's helped me. But just know it's going to be challenging because you have to start unmolding a lot of the programs that are running your life right now. And you have to start pinpointing, from how I described it to others, think of it like your body is a computer, and those programs that you keep running are like tabs, like the internet that you put on, and you have all these tabs that are open. All of those tabs, the more tabs you have open, the slower the computer, the slower the information starts coming in. Maybe you have so many tabs open that you just can't open another tab because you have so much program constantly running that someone's information is not, it's going to be one ear out the other. Or maybe you really are genuinely trying to sponge it, but you just can't because you're like the rag is oversaturated. Like you have so much on your plate. There's no space for this information. That's the reason why going through all of this, it's a learning curve, because you have to literally learn your own true self. And learning your own true self will take time. So if you have any questions, please let me know. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed the video and the content. I did try to make it as short and sweet as I possibly could. And I'll see you in the next video talking about timelines, and I can't wait for that one. So you all have a beautiful rest of your day, night, morning, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.